Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Street Smart Millionaire. Well, I'm traveling this week, so I want you to know that I'm doing this one from my office, but I want you to know that I just finished the semester and I'm going into a new semester. So I'm heartbroken that I lost 22 clients. Heartbroken. I failed. I let them down. I didn't get it done. It's okay to get really, really mad when things don't go your way. I know those 22 clients would do better if they stayed with me. Now I have about 340 clients. So most of them are excited, most of them are committed. I have interviewed 98 new people and I have 78 that are joining me in a coaching relationship, and I'm thrilled. The 78 people trust me. They want to pay me 40 grand a year. They want to get yelled at. They want to be held accountable so I can help them be all they can be. You know, I've been in the coaching business for 30 years. I started working for a guy in the seminar business, and I would do seminars. And I didn't really like it because I wasn't seeing the growth of the people I was talking to. Then I started coaching in his program, helping some of his speakers have better businesses because I had a better business and I'm better financially. And then I started wanting to coach full time, and I left him and opened my coaching company. And for 24 years, I've owned the core. And I started off with 40 people in the room, and my biggest room is probably, 800 people in the room. I coach about 340 people now that all pay me 40 grand. I've got right around 100 people that pay me 24 grand. I've got about 500 people that pay me $750 a month, which is about 10 grand a year. So I've got a lot of levels of coaching. So I spend a lot of time coaching people, and I have 35 coaches that are all massive overachievers. They all make between, the lowest makes about $750, and the highest coach that works for me makes about $15 million a year. I have probably 10 that make $2 million. I probably have 20 that make right at $1 million to $1.5 million. I probably have 3 under $1 million. I have a couple realtor coaches that are in my level 2 that might make $750, $850, and they're working really hard to get better. As excited as I am about these 78 new students, I'm so pissed about the 22 that I've left. It just makes me cringe that I failed these people and I wasn't the coach they needed and I wasn't the leader they needed to build their career, that they didn't feel they could get wealthier with me than they could without me. And I'll tell you that I want you to be mad when things don't go your way. I want you to be mad when you don't hit your goals. I want you to be mad when you're not being all you can be. You know, I just started watching a show that a bunch of people have told me about for years called Suits, and I like it a lot. There's a Harvey on there that's a really polished, really selfish, really good closer, and there's a guy named Mike. He's kind of like a hustler, and he's driven, and he's focused, and he wants to build his career. And he has an opportunity to join Harvey. And Harvey says he got to give up his bad friend, and he's got to stop smoking marijuana, and he's going to be drug tested. And he's got to buy good suits, and he's got to get in early, and he's got to stay late, and he's got to learn fast and hard. And I love that because I have been Michael and I have been Harvey. I have been a hustler. I'm still a hustler. I'm trying to get it done, trying to get new clients. I'm trying to change the planet, trying to make a difference. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to do well. I'm trying to help other people do well. So I think that that's okay to increase your drive like that. So I think you should watch Suits. I believe if you're in a real estate or mortgage business, you should dress up, dress shirt, dress pants, dress shoes every day. I'm clean shaven every day. I see a lot of people in the mortgage business and real estate business have a casual attitude. Like they dress casually, they wear baseball hats, they wear t-shirts. I wouldn't do business with anybody that wasn't dressed up. I'm kind of old school. I wouldn't hire a lawyer that wasn't dressed up. You know, I'm going in today. I'm going to have an executive physical in a couple weeks. I haven't had a physical in 5 years, which is like not good behavior. I think you should get a physical every year or two. So I'm having this executive physical at a hospital that I donate a lot of money to. So they're trying to take really good care of me. So I'm going in for an 8-hour physical. I got to go in today after this podcast for a meet and greet, and I got to meet the doctor that's in charge of the physical. Like, why do I got to do that? Why wouldn't I want to do that? Why wouldn't I want to meet the doctor that's going to be in charge of my health care and be in charge of my physical? And it's costing me a lot of money to do this physical. And I think that you have to invest in your health. I look at it and I eat 3 meals a day. I exercise 3 times a week. I sleep 8 hours a day. I recreate on the weekend. I do nothing on Sunday and lay low and relax. So I think those are things that I do to have balance. Like I start every day with a protein shake and 2 cups of coffee. Today I had a turkey sandwich with a pickle and a small bag of potato chips. I go to bed every night at midnight. I wake up every day at 8:30. I get up in the morning. I have some coffee. I pray. I read. I write my gratitude journal. And then I watch the opening of the stock market. I watch a little sports center because I'm very sports minded. I get in the shower. I'm at work exactly at 10 o'clock. I have a team meeting from 10 to 10:30. And then from 10:30 to 7, I'm nonstop on the go, making phone calls, coaching calls, meetings, coaching calls, meetings, coaching calls, meetings. I do a lot of Zoom meetings. I make about 40 outbound calls a day, just so you know how busy I am. I probably have 400 Zoom meetings a week. So I have a lot of Zoom meetings. A Zoom meeting could have 3 people or it could have 50 people on it. So I try to see lots of people on Zoom. I try to talk to lots of people. I have people that are broke. I have people that are doing okay. And I have people that are doing great. I have an easiest time with people that are doing great. I will tell you why. They're more open to change. Like people that are not doing well, they seem like they struggle with change. Like for me, budgeting is very important. Giving money away is very important. Saving 20% of my paycheck every month is, I learned that 37 years ago from one of my mentors, Bob Wortley, who taught me about money. He said, Rick, if you can save 20% of your paycheck for 20 years, you'll be a multimillionaire. I've saved 20% of my paycheck for 37 years, and I'm a very heavy multimillionaire. I'm many times over a multimillionaire. And I think that I have followed a really good plan on earning. I've followed a really good plan on saving. I've followed a really good plan on investing. And I follow a really good plan on giving. And I think that it takes a vision of where do you see yourself in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You got to have really clear vision of where you're going. I think then you have to seek out people that are where you want to be. Like I say all the time, the 2 secrets in life are to be closest to the money and to know exactly who your perfect client is and get more of them. Those 2 things are really the secret. Now, let's talk about being closest to the money. Yes, in work, you want to be the closest to the person. Like if you're a lawyer, Mike wants to be close to Harvey because Harvey has more money, makes more money, better lawyer. But closest to the money doesn't always mean money. Like I want to be a really good husband. I hang out with Roy Mason, who's my mentor, and he's been married for 47 years. He puts his wife on a pedestal. They hold hands. They chase each other all the time. So I hang out with Roy because he's closest to the marriage money. Now, I also hang out with Roy because he's an evangelist and a preacher. So he helps me be closest, get to know God, and get to understand what I'm reading in God. So he's closest to the money in marriage and God. I hang out with Eric, that's my personal trainer. He trains me twice a week, hardcore, and he's really fit, knows all about fitness and nutrition. I think that I've always had a business mentor. I look at like my life and I look like, how did I go from a knucklehead, high school dropout, that got kicked out of high school, that got in a little legal trouble, to now that I'm really good shape financially. And I want you to know I've had really good mentors. And when I meet somebody that's really fit, I want to hang out with them. When I meet somebody that has a good marriage, I want to hang out with them. When I meet somebody that has a really good relationship with God, I want to hang out with them. When I meet somebody that has a lot of money, I want to hang out with them. I'm always asking questions. You know, the Bible says, a couple of things it talks about in the Bible, it says seek good counsel. I think that's what it means when I say get closest to the money. Seek good counsel of people that have what you want. I think that's why so many people pursue me in the coaching business. You know, I think that I always do a lot of seminars, and there's always, if I have a seminar with 200 people in it, there's always 10 that, hey, I want to talk to you. I want to pursue you. I will tell you what shocks me. More people don't pursue me. Like as I came up in business and I come up in life, I pursue people that are in great shape. I pursue people that have great businesses. I pursue people that are good investors. I think a lot of people hold back and they don't pursue wealthy people thinking that they're going to bother them. I'm just telling you, along the way, like I know one guy that's a self-made, super wealthy guy. Everybody else I know had some help along the way. I've had a lot of help. I've had 8 mentors along the way in my life that have really molded me as a man, as a husband, as a Christian, as a salesman, as a leader, as an investor, as a giver. I look at all these people and they all did a major thing in my life, and I owe them a lot, and there's nothing I won't do for them. You know, one of my first mentors was a man named Tom Hammond. and he owned Flagstar Bank. And I worked for Tom, and he was a mountain of a man physically, and he was a great mortgage man. I mean, at the time, he was the biggest mortgage ever. Right now, you're looking at like the guy from Rocket Mortgage, the guy from United Wholesale, my boss from Cross Country. Those are the three current icons in the mortgage business. They're the best and biggest in the mortgage business. Now, years ago, 30 years ago, Tom Hammond was the icon in the mortgage business. He was the Mac Daddy of mortgage men. And I worked for him, and I did everything I could to get around him. He would quit early on Thursday night and put a 12-pack of beer on a desk and sit out there and talk to employees. I was there every week. If he asked me to go hunting, I've never hunted in my life. I went with him hunting, and all I did was run through the field like the dog and chase the birds up just so I could be around him. Whatever I could do to be around him, I would be around him to learn from him, because he was this expert mortgage man, the best there ever was. I worked for a guy named Dan Hendon in the furniture business. He was the best dressed salesman I ever knew. He was just a great salesman, and he taught me how to be a salesman. He taught me how to dress for success. I talked about Bob Wortley, who taught me about money. I was a young salesman making a lot of money. I didn't have any money, and he taught me how to accumulate wealth. That true wealth is not about a fancy car or a fancy watch or fancy shoes. True wealth is about what you accumulate. I look at Roy Mason, and he taught me how to be a good Christian leader, taught me how to be a good husband. I look at Joe Stump, who taught me how to work an audience, how to be on stage. I mean, I look at these 8 guys. My Uncle Chuck taught me how to be a hustler and how to be a hard worker. My dad was a monster hard worker. I mean, he worked a full-time job, and he always had a part-time job. So I've had these 8 men that have really taught me a lot. And I will tell you, who's taught me more than anybody is my wife, Britt. My wife, Britt, has taught me about organization and structure. You know, I remember years ago somebody telling me that there are no super wealthy, heavy people. There are no super wealthy, sloppy people. So I've always, since I've heard that, been in shape, and since I've heard that, I've always worked on being organized. And my wife has really modeled organization better than anybody. Man, she's organized. She is just, the house always looks good. The car always looks clean. Her closet always looks great. The farm always looks great. My wife has helped me go from a slob to an organized person. So I think you are. I don't know that you are who you hang out with. You are who you chase. So if you're chasing wealthy people, you'll be wealthy. If you're chasing fit people, you'll be fit. If you're chasing godly men and women, you'll be godly. If you're chasing happily married people, you'll be happily married. So I don't think you are who you hang out with. I think that's part of it, but I think you are who you chase. So here's what I will tell you. If I'm not the right coach for you, find somebody that is. And if you're in a different business in the mortgage and real estate business, because I coach some other industries. I coach about 8 other industries that I have some people I met that I've coached that I just liked and I believed in. So I coach them. Like I coach a plumber that makes $2 million. I coach a hardscaper that makes $500,000. I coach a production company that makes $1 million. So I coach some other industries, and they've all done really well, because the concept of find who your perfect client is and get more of them and run good financials, that works in all businesses, and those are things I believe in. But I think that, being closest to the money is the first secret. I think the second secret, I just talked about it. You got to find the perfect client. For me, in the coaching business, I'm looking for people that do over 20 million and they're mad. It's just not good enough. They want to get to 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, 80 million, 100 million. I interviewed David last week on the podcast, and he does about 40 million, and he's committed to get to 100 million. And I believe he will. I believe he's driven, he's tough, he's process oriented, he's funny, he's charming, he follows up. Said he follows up with every lead 7 times. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was very smart. So I think that you have to identify who the perfect client is. So for me, I'm looking for realtors and lenders that make 250 and they're mad about it. They want to make 500. They want to make $1 million. They want to make $2 million. They want to make $5 million. I've had 22 people make $10 million under my authority. I've had 45 people make $5 million under my authority. I've had over 100 people make $2 million under my authority. And I've had 747 total people that have made $1 million under my authority in the last 24 years. So if you want to get to $1 million net and you're in real estate or lending, you need to hire me. Now, I have a level 1 for $750 a month if you do under 10 million. I have a level 2 between 10 and 20 million for $2,000 a month. And I have a level, if you do over 20 million, for $3,500 a month, where you get access to the biggest and brightest coaches in the nation, and we will hold you accountable. Now, my style is relationship-based. I'm not social media-based. I'm not advertising-based. I'm relationship-based. So in the mortgage business, we chase realtors. In the real estate business, we chase local business owners. So this is who we chase, our primary client. Now, our secondary client is our past clients. I'm a big fan of attacking past clients. My number one realtor is a guy named Adam. He has 18 closings this month for $30 million. He'll make about $700,000 in income in a month. In 1 month, my number one real estate client will make $700,000. And he gets about 10 past client referrals a month. So I think in any industry, you really got to take good care of your past clients. I think my number one lender will make about $350,000 this month, and they'll do about $25 million in production. That's a lot of loans. Now, that's an individual loan rep and an individual realtor. My clients are not only people that do $20 million and are mad about it, they're people that are active in the business. Like, I believe that you have to be the superstar on your team. Like right now, you have Indiana and Oklahoma City playing in the national championship, and you have hockey playing in the national championship. Whichever star plays bigger and better will win those series. So whether it's Halliburton or Shea Alexander, whichever one of those superstars has more big moments, like in the first game, Alexander missed a shot with 5 seconds left, and Halliburton made a shot with 0.3 seconds left to win the first game. Now the second game, Oklahoma City crushed them. I don't know what'll happen in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh game. We'll see. But if the superstar plays well, they will do it. So I like people that are actively involved in their business. They want to sell the houses or they want to do the loans. So a couple shows that represent what I like. I like to show Suits, and I like to show $1 Million Listing of LA. They're actively selling big deals. They're actively handling big cases as lawyers. So I think you have to be actively involved in your business, and you have to chase whales. So I think you have to identify my whale as any realtor and lender over 20 million is mad where they are. If you're thrilled doing 20 million, do not call me. If you're mad that you do 20 million or 30 million or 40 million or 50 million or 80 million, you call me and we'll make it better. Now listen, I get mad at whatever my numbers are, and then I go get better. That's my philosophy. Get mad where you are, get back. If you're not mad about your body, your marriage, or your relationship with God, or your kids, then you're not going to make any changes. I don't want to get angry. That's a sin. Every time I get angry, I don't do the right thing. So I want to be mad and I want to be glad. So I want to celebrate all the clients I have. I want to celebrate all the new clients that are coming in. I got a little mad about the 22 clients that are leaving. I wasn't the right coach for them. Hoping they can find a new coach or a better coach, or a lot of them come back. I had 18 past clients that come back this time. I love that. One of my ex-coaches that left me is coming back. I love that. So I will tell you this, that get mad when you lose a client. Get glad when you get a client. Don't be mad for more than 10 minutes, and don't be glad for more than 10 minutes. So it's like when you watch football or basketball and they make a big basket, they high five, they celebrate. Then they go right back on defense and go right back to work. So I will tell you that wealth and balance is a lifetime pursuit. It's not a year or 5 years or 10 years. I look at that. I've been in the mortgage business for 41 years, and I'm not very good at it. And I'm getting better every day. I'm trying to take better care of my loan reps. I have 40 loan reps. Last month, I closed 255 loans, pretty good average, about 6 deals per loan rep. My vision is to have 40 loan reps closing 400 deals. I want to average 10 deals per loan rep. I think that just the national average for loans per loan rep is about 2. I want to average 5 times better than the average. I want my people all to make a ton of money. I want them all to do really well. So listen, if you're a loan rep in Charlotte or you're a loan rep in Michigan, you should come work for me. I'll help you be all you can be. If you want to get to 10 deals a month, I'll help you. If you're a realtor or lender, whatever level you're at, I want to help you. If you're over 20 million, I can help you personally. If you're under 20 million, my team will take great care of you. I just can't put all my time in the level 1s and the level 2s. I mean, imagine I have, like 1,100 clients between level 1, level 2, and level 3. I just can't put my time in all of them, but I do put my time in my 35 coaches. I do put a lot of time in my 340 level 3s. I do put a little time in my 100 level 2s. Level 1s, I do a lot of videos. I do a lot of trainings. They get a lot of access to me, but not to me personally. Here's what I will tell you. I believe you got to have mentors and coaches. I want you to write down all the mentors you've had and 2 or 3 lessons you learned from each one. And then I want you to go seek out some people that have what you want. So if you want to be in a good relationship, go find somebody that's in a good relationship and hang out with them. You want to honor and serve God at a high level? You go find somebody that honors and serves God at a high level and you start hanging out with them. You want to make a lot of money? You pursue and you hang out with somebody that makes a lot of money. You want to be a good investor in the stock market? You hang out with somebody that's a good investor. You want to be a good giver and be charitable? I hang out with Scott Foreman. He gives more money than anybody I know away. He loves to be charitable. He does a lot of work. He builds 10 houses a year for Habitat for Humanity. He does a lot of things. So I hang out with Foreman. You want to be a good friend? Hang out with somebody who's a really good friend. Damien and Hal are two guys that I know that are really good friends. And every time I'm around them, it makes me want to raise my friend game. You want to be in shape? Hang out with somebody who's super fit. So I will tell you this. I have somebody in each area of my life that I admire how they show up in that category. I don't have one guy that does everything because that's not possible. Go find people that have a good life, what you want, aspire to be in that area of life, and hang out with them. Don't be afraid to pursue them. Say, listen, I really respect your business. I'd like to hang out with you a little bit and get a little time and whatever's available to you. If I got to come to the farm and work with you to get some time to talk to you, I will do it. So I have pursued wealth and balance. I'm 64 years old. I'm going to continue pursuing wealth and balance. I'm looking for the next mentor. My boss is a billionaire. I try to get as much time with him as I can. I try to see him a couple times a year. I try to call him once a week. I try to do everything I can to help him so that he wants to help me. Remember, all human beings are ATM machines. You got to make a deposit before you can make a withdrawal. So I think a lot of you need to go out there and make more deposits, and then you'll be able to make more withdrawals. So listen, I want you to all go be all you can be. I want you to get as much wealth as you can, and I want you to get as much balance as you can. Now remember, I've been working on my wealth since I was 23 years old. I'm 64. So 23, I became a salesman in the furniture business. That's 42 years ago. I've been in the mortgage business for 41 years. This is what it takes to be great. It's a long-term journey, and I'm pursuing lots of areas of my life to get better. Wealth and balance, that's what the Street Smart Millionaire is about. Rick Ruby, have a great week. See you later.